Christian Smalls went on Tucker Carlson to shit talk AOC? What is wrong with the left, man? How difficult is it? Watch the whole segment, it was good. Shoot, don't get me wrong, I'm sure the majority of this was about the unions and they're just hyper-fixating on the AOC thing, but like, if I was brought on there, I wouldn't even talk about AOC. Like, if Tucker Carlson was like, hey, and what's this about AOC ditching you? I'd be like, what does that have to do with... It's like so insignificant compared to the union. Like, I mean, I guess I'd have to see the exact clip. Like, it's possible they're, like, weaving threads from nothing here. Does anyone have the clip? He just kind of brushes it off and moves on. Oh, if that's true, if he really does, like, if he makes every effort, or, you know, a reasonable effort to, like, brush it off. And
Sandy Cortez spends a lot of time telling you that she's on the side of the worker. She's like a modern wobbly. She's the Walter Reuther of our day. And that's why last year she vowed to stand alongside striking...
Why does he talk like this to me? What did I do to deserve this? Why does he do this to me?
...workers at Amazon's Staten Island warehouse. And we're for that because they need the help. But at the last minute, Sandy Cortez bailed on the whole thing. And that infuriated labor organizers who just won a big vote to unionize at the Staten Island facility. Now, Amazon is stepping up its effort to crush the union. Amazon has just banned words like union on its employee chat app. Christian Smalls is a union leader at Amazon, and we're happy to have him join us now. Christian, thanks so much for coming on.
Okay. First off, I respect the drip. Okay? My man's wearing his goddamn Naruto Sharingan vibrant red jacket for Naruto running. I assume this says eat the rich, the full thing that they've sort of cut off the camera there, but I assume that says eat the rich. You know, he can't magically know where the camera's positioned. So we have that. Yeah, he's looking drippy, you know? Okay, so.
So were you surprised that Sandy Cortez, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who has said repeatedly...
Tucker quickly realizing that most human beings, if you say Sandy Cortez, are going to have no fucking idea what you're talking about.
Repeatedly that she's on the side of the worker against the corporation, wasn't standing with you at the barricades.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it wasn't just her. It was all of them pretty much, you know. It's not...
Fair.
You know,
yeah.
I don't want it to make it just between us and AOC because, you know, a lot of them didn't show up. And, you know, once again, we have no ill will against them. We know that whether they showed up or not, they didn't make a...
Why is he calling her Sandy? Dude, have you guys never seen, like, how conservatives talk? It's like a sexism, paternalistic... Have you not? It's like an infantilizing thing.
Break our election. We just had to continue to organize.
Yeah, I mean, it's just...
What?
Between us and AOC because, you know, a lot of them didn't show up. And, you know, once again, we have no ill will against them. We know that whether they showed up or not, they didn't make or break our election. We just had to continue to organize.
This is a pretty okay response. It's obviously de-emphasizing the whole AOC bad, like, hyperfixation that they clearly want to, like, hone in on here, which is why they're, like, playing clips of her right next to him saying it didn't really matter. However, I feel like the best answer he could have given for the left was, like, yeah, no one showed up. Like, no one. Like, the left or the right. So, if you really care about, like, if you actually support us, and you say you do, you know, maybe you should be a little bit more broad in calling people out for not supporting workers' rights, you know? Like, because obviously, like, Tucker Carlson doesn't give a shit about workers' rights, so it's clearly, like, you know, it's just, like, it's like the Destiny thing, right? Like, the hypocrisy thing, like, you know, oh, you know, this left figure isn't living by their principles, so we're gonna hyperfixate on that. Well, are you living by... Well, I don't believe in those things. It's like, oh, okay, so, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, it's a weird moment because, I mean, I'm on the right. I've never been particularly pro-union, but it does seem like Amazon needs some counterbalance. Like, it's this huge company. The workers have no power, and maybe we could, I don't know, share a little power with the people who work there. So that's my view anyway. So tell us where you are.
No idea why the audio is like this. By the way, there are so many dunks that Christian could get if he was in on here. First of all, like, hey, nothing that's going on with Amazon right now with regards to workers' rights is new. Like, if you're looking at this situation and this is what's convincing you, you should have been on workers' side like decades ago. Second of all, like, you know, okay, then why is it that every single candidate that you support is anti-union, you know?
Are in your organizing efforts?
Well, right now, you know, we're fighting for a contract. You know, Amazon's disputing the election results. So we're in walking and chewing bubble gum at the same time. We're fighting for a contract. We're preparing for another election in 2 weeks on April 25th. We're going to be voting at a second location directly across the building that we just unionized. So we're in the thick of a fight right now, you know, a legal battle. And, you know, we just have to stay grounded and pretty much begin our campaign all over again.
I mean,
What is with these delays? Thank you. They're both broadcasting from the United States, aren't they? They're like Tucker and Christian should both be in America. What is with these? What's the delay here between? They might even be on the same coast. I don't know if Tucker Carlson broadcasts from the west or the east coast. I think from the east, in which case they should be milliseconds of ping. Whatever.
you'd think that Amazon would be open to a union, wouldn't you? It's a very progressive company. Why do you think?
There's the hypocrisy angle again. See, it's not. It has nothing to do with workers' rights. It's just like, curious. Amazon progressive. What? What? You know, it like this is. I've said this before, folks, but like, do not ever mistake right wingers accusing people on the left, or I guess Amazon's not on the left, the perceived left, of hypocrisy. Don't mistake that for them actually supporting stuff, you know? If a right-winger tells you, like, hey, shouldn't Bernie Sanders have fought harder for his agenda after Biden won? The correct response is to hit them on the head with a hammer. Because they don't care. They don't care about Bernie Sanders' progressive agenda. He's exclusively being said to drive a wedge in left discourse. They have no right to our discourse. Their words are meaningless. They are beneath us. They have no right to comment because they don't believe in any of it. They're exclusively using perceived avenues for infighting. And this isn't even that. Amazon's not on the left in any universe, but okay. They're just using it for their own political gain. I'm sorry about the audio of this clip.
Think they're trying to thwart you from organizing?
Amazon hasn't been unionized in this country since the beginning of its existence, and they're very anti-union. You know,
Yeah.
they created a system that hires and fires people. They created a system that they have full control of the working
He's
people.
very nervous.
And you know, having a union obviously brings representation for the workers that'll benefit the workers at the bottom, like myself. Hourly associates, entry-level workers that don't get the right to negotiate. So forming a union gives us the right to collect a bargain with the company, form a contract to protect ourselves. So that's exactly what we're trying to do with the Amazon labor.
He's doing pretty good. Yeah, I guess, but like, how often do people of his political leaning get on Fox News? He's got nothing to lose either, because he's not... Like, he could tell Tucker Carlson to fuck off, and it wouldn't affect his unionization efforts, like, at all. Because, like, people like Tucker Carlson will never support him anyway, you know? I feel like he could like, I feel like if he wanted to, he could be like, yeah, billionaires like the people who tell you what to do, you know, like Murdoch. Like, you should know how billionaires are. Like, you serve them. Like, you know, you're like a pawn for them. You know how little they care about the average person. You got to be nice to the audience over it. It's not about ducking. Nah, that doesn't work, Shu. Not with something like Tucker Carlson. Tucker, like, that, I think that works with, like, skeptic communities sometimes, or communities where there legitimately is, like, a big wide range politically, like, Joe Rogan. If I went on Joe Rogan, and I don't like Joe Rogan, but if I went on Joe Rogan, like, I would be super civil with the dude. You know, like, massively civil. Because I do think there are millions of people who watch Joe Rogan who probably would agree with me if I just, you know, presented my ideas well. Tucker Carlson is like a hardline, like, ideologue. I think spitting in his face is optically the best thing that you can do, in addition to being very satisfying. You know, he's in a position, I think, where outward antagonism is like a, you know, like, remember that clip of the guy who, like, bullied him in the supermarket or whatever? Like, with him, I just think that's a gain. With Joe Rogan, that'd be a loss for two reasons. One, of course, because they have very different audiences, and two, because Joe Rogan would dissolve you know, a sort of 14-inch radial circle of your body by punching it. You know, you just sort of turn it into a soup-like homogenate with the power of his fist. Well, Shu, I don't think the conservatives who are watching hear pro-union talk. They hear anti-Amazon talk. Like, that's the problem here. He's not... All the questions being posed to Christian here are framed as a hypocrisy failing with Amazon and AOC, but I don't think he's doing a good enough job directing it back to like, no, this is like a broad thing, and you're literally our biggest obstacle. Like, he's not doing that. I'm not hating on the guy, by the way. This is not like some Jimmy Dore situation where he's going on Tucker Carlson for clout and like they're just agreeing on everything and it's like all fake. What I don't think Christian Smalls is fake like at all. I respect the hell out of him for what he's done. You know, it's just, this is... I should be more lenient. Like, this is literally like the biggest TV gig like that you're gonna get on news, and it's like, well, you know, let me optimize my strategy for responding. Maybe I would, because I watch enough Tucker Carlson to like kind of know exactly what he's gonna say. But yeah, anyway, it's
labor union. We're hoping that we'll be a catalyst for something that'll take place nationwide.
Well, I certainly am rooting for you. I mean, maybe if they throw some more woke slogans at you, you'll forget you can't feed your family.
Right.
Chris,
why does he laugh like that?
Maybe if they throw some more woke slogans at you, you'll forget you can't feed your family.
See, he doesn't want to talk about workers' rights. It's exclusively like, haha, AOC is a hypocrite. Haha, Amazon's a hypocrite. How is Amazon... Like, yeah. Like, there's nothing else here. And I think that's all his audience is going to go for, too. The laugh that he did here is sincere, by the way. He's like, he's psychotic. Look, I mean, look, does this, like, legitimately, does his laugh not, like, remind you of some kind of, like, 14th century aristocrat, you know? Like the 7th brother of 13 who's got, like, one of those poofy neck collar things, and, he, you know, he's got, like, a sword that's very fancy that he's never used, like that kind of thing?
Right.
They're serving pheasant tonight. He's like the berries and cream Skittles guy, you know? His middle name is Buckley. Jesus Christ, yeah.
Chris, I appreciate your coming on. Thank you very much.
Sandy Cortez! Sandy Cortez!
Sandy Cortez spends a lot of...
It's getting creepy. I'm closing the feed. Stop.